Tonight, former President Trump is lashing out at legendary journalist Bob Woodward for releasing more than 8 hours of raw audio from 20 interviews Woodward recorded with Trump for his new audio book. Bob Woodward is standing by live there. You see him. We'll discuss in just a few moments. But first, here's CNN's Tom Foreman with more on the very revealing tapes.
Mr. Woodward, the president.
Hi, Bob.
The calls came at all hours on all subjects.
Nobody that's tougher than me. You asked me about impeachment. I'm under impeachment, and you said, you just act like you just won the fucking race.
Sometimes full of profanity, bitterness, and bragging.
I have this reputation of not being willing to apologize. It's wrong.
Yeah.
I will apologize if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
This conversation.
When's the last time you apologized?
Oh, I don't know, but I think over a period. I would apologize. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm never wrong. Okay.
Then relaxed, entertaining, and occasionally alarming.
I have built a weapon system that nobody's ever had in this country before. We have stuff that you haven't even seen or heard about. We have stuff that Putin and Xi have never heard about before.
Unsurprisingly, just as he has in public, Trump praised the Russian president.
I respect Putin. I think Putin likes me. I think I like him.
But he was equally effusive about North Korea's leader.
The CIA says about Kim Jong-un that he's cunning, crafty, but ultimately stupid.
I disagree. He's cunning, he's crafty, and he's very smart.
Why does the CIA say that?
Because they don't know, okay? Because they don't know. They have no idea. I'm the only one that knows.
As for the danger of Kim launching missiles at the U.S. or American allies,
If he shoots, he shoots, and if he shoots, he shoots. He's got big problems, let me put it that way. Big problems.
underlying it all, Trump's seemingly unshakable faith in his ability to judge people.
The word chemistry. You meet somebody and you have a good chemistry. You meet a woman. In 1 second, you know whether or not it's all going to happen.
Trump went on at length about his power, popularity with his base, and ability to run rings around old Washington.
In the history of politics, there's never been fundraising like I'm doing.
About the COVID-19 pandemic and a conversation about it with his youngest son.
So he was 13 in the White House upstairs in his bedroom. He said, "Dad, what's going on?" And I said, "It came out of China, Barron. Pure and simple. It came out of China, and it should have been stopped. And to be honest with you, Barron, they should have let it be known it was a problem 2 months earlier, and the world would not. We have 141 countries have it now. And I said the world wouldn't have a problem. We could have stopped it easily."
But there was one topic that seemed to stop him. At the time, the upcoming 2020 election and his real chance of losing, as he did.
Everyone says Trump is going to stay in the White House if it's contested. Have you?
Well, I don't want to even comment on that. Though.
Sure.
I don't want to comment on that at this time. Hey, Bob, I got all these people. I'll talk to you later on tonight.
With all of this hitting the news, Trump jumped on his Truth Social and said, "Bob Woodward never got my permission to release tapes of my various interviews with him. Those tapes were allowed only for purposes of making sure that he got my quotes and statements correct. He and his publisher had no right to use my voice or them." That's what he is saying publicly right now, Wolf. But as we know, the president often complains about these things publicly and then privately lets on that he still likes the attention.
Yeah, good point. Tom Foreman, good report. Thank you very much. Let's discuss all of this with the legendary journalist himself, the author of the new audiobook, The Trump Tapes, Bob Woodward. Bob, thanks so much for joining us. First, let me get your response, your reaction to what the former President Trump said. He claimed you never got his permission to release these tapes. How do you respond to that?
Well, that they were done voluntarily. It was all on the record. I had used some of it before, so he's president, and he's not somebody who's he's so out there, and this is out there to the 10th power, and to me it was revealing when I went back and listened to it. That you see his self-assessments are just off and dangerous. On foreign affairs, it's all about chemistry and his instinct. Well, of course, this drove his national security team crazy, traumatized them. On the economy, he says repeatedly, I built the best economy in the world. Well, he had a good economy. He was handed a pretty good one by Obama on race relations. He says he's done more for black people than any president other than Abraham Lincoln. He gives top billing to Lincoln, but he gives himself second billing. And I've raised, well, how about Lyndon Johnson, who did all? No. Trump did more than anyone other than Abe Lincoln. So this idea that he's tougher, the whole presentation of the understanding he has of himself is off the mark, unsupported by evidence. It is, and then you listen to it and you hear the certainty, the drive, you played about, I asked, ever apologized? Oh, well, my reputation is to never apologize. This was about impeachment. I said, why not just say this call with Ukrainian President Zelensky was something that has been misinterpreted or whatever. No, it's a perfect call. It's a perfect call. And I spent 15 minutes interrogating him down in Mar-a-Lago, and he would just not give. He would avoid the plain language of that call.
And he would often just call you. You didn't even initiate all of those calls. I want to dive into what we just heard in Tom Foreman's report, the new audio that you just released to us. Trump seems to almost laugh about his inability to actually apologize. Let's take a listen once again. Listen to this.
I have this reputation of not being willing to apologize. It's wrong. Yeah. I will apologize if I'm wrong. Yeah. This conversation.
When's the last time you apologized?
Oh, I don't know, but I think over a period, I would apologize. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm never wrong. Okay.
But let me ask you this. Did he ever seriously reflect on his character flaws?
Well, not really. I asked him what grade he'd give himself on the handling of the coronavirus, and he said, he'd give himself a very high grade. When in the conversations about the virus with him, he will say and says, you can hear him, we have it under control. We have it under control. 140,000 people had died at that point. There's no evidence he has it under control. It's now coming out more. I found out, that Dr. Fauci and the experts were horrified at the way Trump would not listen to them, would just dismiss them. So finally, at one point, I talked to Fauci and all of the other experts, and I said, what should he be doing? And they gave me a list of about 12 or 16 things, like coordinate with the intelligence community. And it was so, it's like he was frozen in the job.
We're all grateful to you, Bob Woodward, for releasing these audio tapes. We really appreciate it very, very much. And once again, the book, the audio book goes on sale today. Very significant indeed, the Trump tapes.